Solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
I had had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Good morning, television family. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Monday, but you can't trust that day. Somebody told me that years ago. 19th day of June, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. Happy Juneteenth. It's a holiday for government anyway. And we'll get to that when we get to the news. Just a friendly reminder. It is Juneteenth. It is a federal holiday. We'll have a lot of news to get to. Of course, the big story, what happened at the Gorge in George. On Saturday night, we'll have the latest details on that when we get to news. It's a cool day. It's only 50 degrees. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. It's the middle of June. I'm wearing a sweatshirt because it's cool. I had to dig into my closet and because I, already took all my warm clothes and tucked them away. And this morning I had to fish through my closet to find my sweatshirts because it's a little chilly out there. And we're going to be under the influence of a rather deep and cool low. It's kind of lingering over the region. We're going to be dry today, although a little breezy and certainly below normal temperature-wise. Could get a little rain on Tuesday, which we need. Then a gradual warming trend. Forecast details are coming up. In sports, not a bad weekend for the Mariners. Not a bad weekend for the Apple Sox. They closed out Father's Day with a victory. So did the Mariners. Even though they struck out a lot, they still won. And, of course, the really big news in the local world of sports is significant step up in competition for the Wenatchee Wild. They are joining the Western Hockey League. Huge news. We had a chance to visit with Bliss Littler, general manager of the Wild, on Friday. After the news dropped, this is big, this is really big. We'll have all of that in the back half of the program. Dr. Gene Sherritt will be my guest. We're trying to do a monthly update on Kindness Counts NCW, an ad hoc group that was launched back in November just to spread the mantra of kindness, because it does count. Plus some cool vacation photos from Gene. Yeah, I got to throw that stuff in there too. Gene Sherritt will be with me in the back half of the program. And Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. 2 minutes after the hour, here we go. Let's head up around the valley, and we'll start out, of course, with our camera at Wenatchee Heights. You can see the cloud cover has covered up that sun just a little bit, but I think it's peeking through all right. We are still at 15 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. The only difference is sunrise is now 1 minute later, but sunset is 1 minute later. And that was the way it was yesterday. It'll be that way today. It'll be that way tomorrow. Wednesday is the summer solstice. So sunrise this morning is at 5:04, but sunset tonight, 9:01. Saturday's high was 76, 3 degrees below normal. Yesterday we only got to 68, and it felt cooler than that, and that's about where we're going to be for the next couple of days too. Up to the #1 canyon camera on the far west side of the valley, looking over to the East Wenatchee side. Now you see a few clouds hanging around there. We need rain. We're way behind on where we should be with the rain. A slight chance of rain today. Best chance for measurable rain is on Tuesday. Even that isn't very much. We need the wet stuff. I wouldn't mind a long day of nice light showers to get us on the right side of the drought, but we're not there yet. Beautiful Leavenworth. Check out this spectacular view from the Tumwater Canyon camera. Just gorgeous there. Hello, Leavenworth. How you doing? There's the Wenatchee River out there flowing around. Leavenworth is always beautiful. It was even beautiful before it was a Bavarian village, but it's more beautiful now. And finally, to Bear Mountain we go. Lake Chelan looking especially blue. today. High atop Bear Mountain, looking down over Lake Chelan. They call it Bear Mountain for two reasons. Number one, yeah, there are bears who live up there, black bears who live up in and around the Bear Mountain area, and they're naked. They have no clothes on. The bears don't. They never wear clothes, so that's Bear Mountain. That was lame. My apologies. Temperatures this week, I like to throw this slide up because it shows areas in our viewing area that we normally don't spotlight. As you can see, Chelan, Moses Lake, this is your temperature forecast through the week. It's going to be a lot cooler through the middle part of the week, and then we start warming up just a little bit. Look how chilly it is in Republic, 35 degrees. It's in the 30s in Pullman. I told you this low is very cold and very deep. It came in over the weekend, came in Friday night, and is going to linger around till about Wednesday afternoon before it decides it will go elsewhere. We'll be back up to around normal by the time we get to Thursday this week, but we'll have to deal with cooler than normal temperatures, especially the next couple of days. From the National Weather Service, right around 68, 69 today, pretty much what we saw yesterday. In fact, it's a carbon copy of yesterday. As far as the afternoon high, the overnight low, mixture of clouds and sun, and a little bit of wind. Just a repeat of what we had on Father's Day Sunday, right around 68 or 69 for the afternoon high. And it's going to be breezy. It'll be breezy tonight. Still got the, it's spinning around counterclockwise, kicking that wind around. We'll see some clouds and maybe a raindrop or two. 51 for the overnight low. About a 30% chance of showers on Tuesday, mostly in the afternoon if it happens at all. Wind will be dying down. We like that, with a high of about 66 degrees. Still breezy on Wednesday, but we start warming up a little bit with a high of 75. Thursday, we're back up to normal. Normal's right around 79 or 80, so right about normal on Thursday with lots of sunshine, and that warming trend will continue. We'll kick up a few degrees on Friday, and then we'll hover right around the mid to upper 80s by the time we get into Saturday and Sunday, the first full day officially of summer, with the summer solstice coming our way on Wednesday. All right, you're in the loop on what Mother Nature has planned, and then what happened over the weekend. We'll let you know in 2 minutes with the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
It's Click It RV's lowest price guarantee sale going on now at your neighborhood Click It RV.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
With 0 down and no payments till September, now is the time to own your dream RV.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you gonna be mad, bro?
Get never before deep discounts on trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Plus the best selection, highest trade-in values ever, and a lifetime warranty. Nobody beats the discounts at Click It RV.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
On Frontage Road.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
It's a rather cool 50 degrees here in the big city. We'll be in the upper 60s today, a good 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. A little bit warmer, but not much. On a Tuesday with some clouds and some wind, we start the warming up process by Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll be back up to normal with quite a bit of sunshine. It's 8 minutes after the hour. 2 people died Saturday evening after a suspect opened fire in the campground just outside the Gorge Amphitheater concert venue. 3 more people, including the shooter, suffered injuries. The gunfire erupted at about 8:23 Saturday night. The suspect was taken into custody soon thereafter. Patrons inside the amphitheater were gathered for the 2-day Beyond Wonderland Electronic Dance Music Festival. No shots were fired inside the venue itself. Kyle Foreman with the Grand County Sheriff's Office said at one point the suspect walked through the campground and appeared to fire randomly into the crowd. He did not immediately identify the suspect. The victims have not been identified yet either, but he suggested that at least one police officer also fired a weapon during the arrest.
We don't know what the motives were, what the intentions were of the shooter, and we'll have to wait and see if we can find that information out later on. There will come a time where we have to pass the investigative information on to the State of Washington's Office of Independent Investigations, which is a branch of government that is an independent investigative group that investigates officer-involved shootings in Washington. So you will be hearing from them here in the coming days.
The Gorge Amphitheater, by the way, continued with its concert on Saturday, and a lot of people simply packed up and went home on Sunday. A grass fire broke out Friday afternoon at the location of the big new roundabout. Going in on the north side of town, the dry vegetation alongside Highway 2 at Easy Street got fire about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It burned quickly. Conditions were rather dry. Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett said the fire appeared to have been inadvertently started by the construction crew that's building the 2-lane traffic circle at that intersection under a contract with the Washington State Department of Transportation. However, that same crew was able to use a water tanker, which they keep on standby to extinguish the flames before fire crews arrived a few minutes later. One of the 2 men who escaped from the Okanogan County Jail spent less time in prison for his prior crimes than anticipated. Christopher Whitman fled from the jail through the roof back in January of 2021. He was awaiting trial in Douglas County on charges including stolen vehicle possession and reckless driving. Once he was recaptured 9 days later, he was also charged with escape. Well, he pled guilty to all the charges and received a 3.5-year prison sentence. But on Thursday, the State Court of Appeals agreed that Whitman's 4 months spent in jail hadn't been properly applied when they calculated the time that he had left to serve. A new sentence will be entered, but Whitman has been free since last December and will remain so. The man he escaped jail with, by the way, Christian Edward White of Rock Island, he is still serving 7.5 years in prison. Curious community members and local leaders joined the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority for an open house. The idea, that new potential regional sports complex. Folks are able to provide input on what they'd most like to see at the complex by placing stickers on poster boards and writing thoughts and questions on sticky notes. There were 2 open houses held for community input as well as a series of focus groups. The mayor of East Wenatchee, Jerry Crawford, who serves as the chairwoman of the steering committee, caught up with us, talked about the goals of the complex and the next step in the process.
Sports complexes are very expensive, and I think we, most elected leaders, know that it would be a challenge for any one of us to build something on our own. So say City of East Wenatchee, because I'm the mayor of East Wenatchee, if the region came and said, gosh, we want a facility and East Wenatchee, you should build it, it would be a heavy lift and it probably wouldn't get done because we just don't have those kinds of resources. So if we can look into building something collectively where all of the area is jointly participating, joint ownership, and that people vote to approve something to be built, I think it has a better chance of success. So they're still in this gathering of information phase. The survey is next and reaching out and getting a lot of online feedback from the community. Then they'll be taking that information and condensing it down into trends and some consistencies. At the same time, simultaneously, they're looking and evaluating our current fields and pools and what we have in our inventory in the region, and looking at, what is the life expectancy of, let's say, the Wenatchee pool or the various soccer fields, and being able to say, yes, in 10 years, you're going to need to do something significant here because it's at the end of its life or it's overused. And then also looking at opportunity. I think they're going to look at, you have an opportunity in this community to add more fields. So I think think at the same time that they're collecting information from our citizens, they're doing kind of some evaluations of what we have.
And of course, today is Juneteenth, marking the day in 1865 when African Americans in Texas were informed that they had been freed by President Lincoln a few years before. It's also called Emancipation Day or Freedom Day. It recognizes that date when they learned their right to be free down in Texas. This is the second year the state of Washington has recognized Juneteenth as a legal holiday. That means today all state offices closed, local government offices closed. That includes the city halls in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and other cities. All county buildings closed for business, including Chelan and Douglas County. All federal government services closed. No mail. I think you know the drill. And that's what's making news. At 14 minutes after the hour, we'll be gathering once again in the newsroom to write the news, figure out what is news, and bringing the news to you. With Grant Olson, I'll be doing sports for Eric Grandstrom today at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. 5, 6, and 10 on TV. If that doesn't fit into your rather busy schedule, we certainly understand that. Our news is up and running on the World Wide Web. We post it right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can watch the news on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, or on our homepage, ncwlife.com. And if there's something out there that you think demands our attention, get a hold of us. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. When we come back, the Wenatchee Wild are stepping up big time in both talent and competition. Big news story in the world of sports. When we come back in 2 minutes, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
17 minutes after the hour, the Wenatchee Wild jumping up to the WHL, the Western Hockey League. The owner of the Wenatchee Wild, David White, has purchased the Winnipeg Ice and is moving them right here to the Wenatchee Valley. The move obviously is having a ripple effect throughout the hockey community. Wild General Manager Bliss Littler's phone's been ringing off the hook. We had a chance to sit down with Littler on Friday to discuss the move, what it means for hockey fans in the Wenatchee Valley. He says the whole thing came together rather quickly.
Yes, we purchased the Winnipeg Ice franchise. The last couple of years, they've had arguably one of the top two teams in the league. They played in the Western League final this year against Seattle. We will acquire their franchise. With that, we take their 50-player list, so you take all their players. And instead of reporting to Winnipeg, they'll report here.
Littler tells us moving to the WHL is big. It's big for the Wild organization. It's big for the fans. It's big for the Town Toyota Center, and it's big news for the Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, this is a game changer for sure. No doubt about it. I think it's a game changer, not just for us and our fans, but for the TTC. I think for this building, adding more nights is adding more revenue to the building. But showcasing this building, showcasing it off to the Western Hockey League, no doubt we feel that we're going to attract more people. So we're awful excited right now.
So the Western Hockey League is several steps up in competition and talent from where the Wild used to play in the NHL and the BCHL. Different focus for the players, too.
The path is to college. They want to earn a scholarship. And if there's pro hockey after that, that's great. Here the path is do everything you can to make the NHL. And if that doesn't work, every year that a player plays for your team, the team owes him a year of college education. And so they get done playing and they decide that they're not pursuing a pro career. Then if they played for you for 3 years, you owe them 3 years of education. So their path is the path we have now is everything into being a pro. And if that doesn't work out, they've earned a college education package.
If you're a season ticket holder, you've certainly heard from the Wenatchee Wild by now. The big difference is now 8 additional home games coming for the Wild at the Town Toyota Center. So current season ticket holders can buy the tickets for the 8 additional games or opt out. You'll be hearing from the Wild. That is big. The Wenatchee Apple Sox completed a series win over Kelowna on Father's Day, 8-0. The final. Wenatchee continues to get offensive production from Easton Edmondson, who belted his league-leading 5th homer yesterday. With more, the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox earned their 4th series victory of the season by taking 2 of 3 games against the Kelowna Falcons at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Apple Sox have played 5 series this season and have only lost 1 of them, thanks to a really good effort against Kelowna. The weekend didn't start the way that Wenatchee wanted, as they fell 6-5 and stranded 14 men on the base paths on Friday. However, the Apple Sox had quite the response the next 2 days, with a 10-7 triumph on Saturday before an 8-0 shutout victory on Sunday. Sunday was Wenatchee's first shutout win of the season, and boy, on Saturday and Sunday, the recipe to success was great starting pitching. Ryan Martinez went 7 scoreless innings on Saturday before Hunter Gibson, in his first start of the summer in his 2nd season with Wenatchee, tossed 6 scoreless in the win on Sunday. Easton Amundsen homered in both victories for Wenatchee, and the Lower Columbia College product leads the West Coast League with 5 home runs. He has homered 3 times in his last 4 games. Wenatchee is still in action on Monday night, a rare day they are playing on a Monday. They will host the Redmond Dudes at 6:35 p.m. at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. And you can hear Joel's call of tonight's non-league game on Sunny FM, first pitch at 6:35. All right, to the scoreboard we go from our friends at Les Schwab. A bases-loaded walk and a passed ball would lead to a 4-run 8th inning as Yakima Valley. The Pippins down in Victoria, 6-3. Manny Casalia's 3-run home run highlighted a 6-run 2nd inning for Walla Walla. The Sweets topping Corvallis on the road, 10-5. Roberto Nunez was 5 for 6, including a 3-run home run to lead Port Angeles over Kamloops, 14-5. In non-league play, Bellingham scored 2 runs in the 5th, the 7th, and the 8th to top the Cascade Collegiate League showcase team. The final there was 6-3. And Stephen Meyer was 3 for 3 with a run and an RBI to lead Bend over Baum-Bat Northwest. 10-4. Games in Ridgefield, Portland, and Edmonton postponed because of rain. They'll be made up at later dates. And there are your standings. Bellingham remains first place in the North Division, half a game in front of both Wenatchee and Victoria. Kelowna emerges from the weekend 3.5 games back. Nanaimo was 5 games out of first place. Lance Lynn tied a White Sox record with 16 strikeouts Sunday, but the Mariners came out on top, 5-1. 2 big hits by Julio Rodriguez and Jared Kelnick made up for the 16 whiffs, while Bryce Young was working his way to his 5th win on the mound.
Inside out to the gap, right center, base hit. Cal Raleigh motor at home. J.P. Crawford is soaring to the plate. His helmet is all the way back at second. Julio drives in a pair, and it's 2-0 Mariners in the 3rd inning.
Well, this is something the Mariners have struggled with of late, is driving
runners in and hitting with runners in scoring position, and Julio Rodriguez wastes no time, drives it the other way.
And here is Andrew Benintendi, who's seen only 3 pitches so far today. He's seen 4 now, and that's scorched right by Wong. Here comes Elvis. The Sox are on the board, and in 2 pitches, it's a 2-1 ball game.
Line drive, base hit. Here comes your breathing room. J.P. Crawford scores. France on his heels. Teoscar coming home, flying across the dish. It's a bases clearing triple. Jared Kelenic, and the Mariners have blown it open in the 8th inning.
Hitting with the bases loaded has been an issue in this series for the Mariners, and Jared Kelenic takes care of it.
Soft fly ball out to left field. Jared Kelenic underneath, and the Mariners win it on Father's Day in front of over 44,000 at T-Mobile Park. 5-1, they take down the White Sox.
Yeah, and how many times do we talk about it, Aaron? Good pitching and timely hitting will win a lot of baseball games. Today was no exception to that. They had a great outing for Bryce Miller, and the bullpen did a nice job on the back end.
Manager Scott Service said it was a nice bounce-back victory after a difficult extra-inning loss on Saturday night.
Nice series win, and credit to our guys. Big bounce back. Mentioned it earlier today, but I think everybody left here very disappointed last night. We should have won the game yesterday, but credit to our players. They come in, we got to wipe it clean. It starts with that guy on the mound, Bryce Miller. Wow, what an outing. On a day that our bullpen was very thin, that was our best shot to win the game. He had to go out and dominate the game, and he did it for a young player. Very, very impressive. But awesome fastball. His breaking balls continue to improve. Cal did a really nice job behind the plate behind him. And Topo's been up a lot in games. He gave us a clean inning, and a huge hit by Jared late, obviously, to give us a little cushion. Their pitcher, that's about as good as we've seen anybody all year against us. Lance Lynn was awesome. He pitched very, very well. Obviously, the cutter, the breaking balls, kind of went against his typical game plan. He had us out in front and not really on anything outside the big hit that Julio got early, and obviously Jared off the reliever late. So, again, it's about winning series. That's where we're at. And hopefully along the way, you win here, 2 series on this homestand. So we're playing better baseball, and, should be a fun road trip.
Yeah, they're on the road. That starts tomorrow night in the Bronx as they take on the Yankees. 4:05 first pitch on Root Sports Northwest. All right, to the scoreboard in the American League West. Cincinnati sweeps Houston. We'd like that. They won a seesaw battle in Houston. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 10th. To be the Astros 9-7. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout hit back-to-back home runs. LA beat Kansas City 5-2 in Kansas City. Corey Seager and Ezekiel Duran each had 4 hits. Texas beats Toronto 11-7. And Kyle Schwarber 3 for 4, including a home run to lead Philadelphia to a sweep of Oakland on Sunday. The final was 3-2. The standings, as you see there, the Angels now leapfrogging Houston in the standings over the weekend. They're in second place now in the American League West, 4.5 behind Texas. After taking 2 of 3 from the White Sox, Seattle remains 8.5 out of first place. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 27 minutes after the hour for the obscure holiday, I could have chosen National Garfield the Cat Day today. Garfield the cartoon went into national syndication on this date of 1976. It's Sauntering Day. I have a tendency to saunter. That's the way I walk. National Watch Day. Don't have one. But today, of course, happy Juneteenth too. But today is Happy Martini Day today. A couple of things about martinis. A martini is gin, vermouth, and an olive. Vodka martinis, I don't even think there is such a thing. I know people say there are. For the purists, that ain't it. And needless to say, it was a bartender in Manhattan who invented the martini, Martini di Armo di Tiagila. He is the one who came up with the concoction. His original martini was gin, vermouth, orange bitters, and he tossed an olive in there. And he called it good, especially popular among the elites in Manhattan. The martini has been associated with New York City, I think, ever since. And the martini glass that you see there was actually supposed to be a champagne glass to replace the old-fashioned champagne glass, the long, tall ones that you would traditionally drink champagne. They came up with this new glass for champagne in Paris in 1925. It never caught on. And so they started putting martinis in those kinds of glasses, and it became a martini glass as opposed to a champagne glass, doesn't matter to me. And by the way, shaken over ice. Thank you very much. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, if baseball has a birthday, I guess this is as close as we're going to get. It evolved. There's no solid day, but on this date in 1846, 177 years ago today, the first officially recorded organized baseball game played under the rules set forth by Alexander Cartwright took place in Hoboken, New Jersey, right across the Hudson River. From Manhattan at the Elysian Fields, the New York Baseball Club defeats the Knickerbockers 23-1. Alexander Cartwright himself was the umpire. So baseball, as we sort of know it, a lot of the Cartwright rules are still in effect today, is essentially 177 years old today. Happy birthday to baseball. This is Juneteenth. 158 years ago today, General Gordon Granger's army lands in Galveston, Texas. He takes a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation and tacks it to the door of the local church, where all the slaves were informed that not only were they free, but they had been for quite some time. Word traveled slow in the mid-1860s. Happy Juneteenth. That was 158 years ago today. That's the actual order. By the way, good news, you're free. Happy 113th birthday to Father's Day, whose origins are in Spokane. Her name was Sonora Smart Dodd. Her father was a Civil War veteran, William Jackson Smart. Single dad, raised his 6 children after his wife died. They ranged in age from newborn to about 16 years old. She came up with the idea of a Father's Day. Mother's Day had already been around for a while. And the very first Father's Day celebration, that's the photo you see there, took place in Spokane on this date 113 years ago today. And it kind of fell out of favor for quite some time. And then Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation, said we can make that better, and they did. Father's Day has been around ever since. And this is the 74th anniversary of the very first NASCAR race ever held. NASCAR at the Charlotte Motor Speedway had their very first race June 19th, 1949. That's the only photo I could find. The winner, Glenn Dunaway. Glenn Dunaway. And then after the race, they inspected his stock car and saw that he had altered the rear springs, and that's cheating. And so Jim Roper, who finished second, was awarded the prize. Yes, the very first NASCAR race, the winner cheated. Started a fine, fine tradition. In NASCAR, it's 32 minutes after the hour. 2 heavenly birthdays today. Mo Howard, the de facto leader of the Three Stooges. How would you like to put that in your resume? Let's see. Along with Larry and Curly, I lead the Three Stooges. Mo Howard, the comedy team. They're still pretty. I catch the Three Stooges every once in a while. If you're into physical comedy, about as good as I got. Mo Howard, born in the state in 1897, and born 120 years ago today, Henry Louis Gehrig. There have been about 600 uniform numbers retired in all of sports history, not just baseball. The very first athlete ever to have his number retired was Lou Gehrig. In fact, he was the only man ever to wear number 4 for the New York Yankees. He won the 1934 Triple Crown, not only in the American League, but all of Major League Baseball. He led all of Major League Baseball in batting average, home runs, and RBIs, and he finished 5th in the MVP voting, and in my opinion, he is the greatest first baseman of all time. With all due apologies to Albert Pujols, Lou Gehrig, born in the state in 1903. And a special happy birthday to one of the top content producers here at the NCW Life Channel. I'd also like to wish Uriah a happy birthday as well. When we come back, Mike McNally's got an opinion, and then my conversation with Gene Sherritt. It's our monthly update with Kind Discounts NCW. Gene joins me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
You are ready to earn your BSN degree, and we know you need a special place to take the next step in your career. You are an engaged learner who needs modern labs and equipment, hands-on support, and small class sizes. You're a busy adventurer who needs trees, mountains, rivers, and trails. As a learner, as a future RN, as an adventurer, find it in the BSN program at Wenatchee Valley College.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, Liz Cheney said something scary after her defeat in the recent primary due to her refusal to drink the personality called Kool-Aid of Donald Trump. For her voting to impeach Trump, despite the personal loss that caused her, I give her high marks in integrity. However, the scary thing is, she said that it might take several election cycles for things to straighten out. Man, let's hope this Democratic Republic can weather that storm. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
It's barbecue chicken pizza season. That means break out the patio furniture, dust off those jorts, pick up an Abby's Pizza, and head to your favorite outdoor spot. I mean, hey, the great outdoors isn't going to enjoy itself, right? Blue skies and pizza go together like, well, barbecue chicken and pizza. That's why it's time to enjoy an Abby's original barbecue chicken pizza at a very special price. Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Coastal is celebrating 60 years, and we have you to thank for it. Stop by today for everything your country needs for the perfect summer. Whether you're camping and kayaking or spending time in your own backyard, Coastal has it all. From clothing and gear to pet food, footwear, coolers, grills, and more. The great outdoors is calling, and Coastal is celebrating. Stop by, scan the QR code, or enter online to win big prizes during our 60th anniversary. Visit Coastal today, or find us online at coastalcountry.com.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Welcome back to the program. I promised Gene Sherritt, one of the organizers of the Kindness Counts organization, that we do a monthly update. Well, I think we kind of missed May, and for a good reason, because Gene was on the other side of the planet. He had other things going on, but he's back. The Kindness Counts NCW campaign continues, going great guns. What a great organization run by great people. And here to talk about his travels to the Himalayas, Dr. Gene Sherritt from Kindness Counts, NCW. How are you, my friend?
Dan, doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show again.
What inspired you and John Darling to go to the Himalayas? I sent you an email. You replied from the Himalayas.
Yes.
Dan, I'm not in town right now. You wouldn't believe where I'm at. Talk about the impetus of this trip to the other side of the world.
You bet. Well, I've been a climber since 1971. I've enjoyed it very much. Always wanted to go there. That's kind of the nirvana for climbers, and I've always wanted to go there. And my good friend John Roskelley, who was the first American to climb K2 without any oxygen, lives in Spokane. I contacted John. I said, "You've been there many times. Would you be willing to lead a trek?" And he said, "Gene, I will. Just if you can get me 5 people, we can make it work." Well, I called around, and we had 12 people immediately sign up. He said, "That's enough. I can't do more than 12." And so he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we went to northern India and up into Tibet, and it was a life-changing experience, Dan.
You've never been, you're a mountain climber, but you've never been there.
Never been there. Been in Europe, of course, and all over the States, but had never been to the Himalayas. And for those of us who climb, it's really kind of where we'd like to go eventually.
Climbing the Himalayas is that's big boy stuff. That's the varsity.
Yeah, it
climbing.
Really is. I'm not a varsity climber. I want to be clear about that. I'm a C-teamer, but for me, it just was a dream come true.
Did you have to temper your enthusiasm a little bit? Don't get too excited about this?
Yeah, very much so. Because there's so much unknown, Stan. There's so much can go wrong on a climb. You know, travel, weather, etc. You could put a lot of effort into a thing like this and be weathered out for 10 days. Mm-hmm. And so you just don't know. So you train, you practice, you get ready, and you just give it your best shot.
The fact that you've been climbing mountains for 50 years, altitude sickness wasn't really kind of an issue? Your body's kind of used to that?
Yeah, it's important to kind of adjust as you go up and not try to go from sea level right to the top. That's where most people get in trouble. Your body just can't acclimate that quickly. So by what we were doing was 2,000 and 3,000 feet a day, which was allowing us to acclimate as we got higher.
Was it physically exerting, or the fact that thousands and thousands and thousands of people have done this? Is there like an established trail? And it's
yeah, Dan, great question. No, it's very, very, very challenging because the trails over there are quite different. Where we happened to be trekking and climbing were really trails that were made by villagers, by yaks, and by mules. Here in Washington, our trails are fairly smooth. They're switchbacks, they go long ways, up like that, you know. Over there, it's not, it's straight up. So when you start at the valley floor, you are heading straight up, and it's just step after step after step.
No switchbacks?
Very few,
wow.
Very, very few, yeah. It's as, these people live there for centuries, and they're not interested in long switchback. They're interested in getting to their village, you know.
You brought some pictures with you. We're going to throw these up on the screen. Gene, I'm going to ask you to narrate what we're looking at. So, Gene, please use the monitor here in the studio. You folks at home, please use your televisions. There you are.
Yes, and on the left is John Roskelley. John's a famous climber, lives in Spokane, done so many climbs, and just a marvelous person. I felt good about asking John because I knew safety would be #1, and I knew he had been in the area. I wasn't about to answer an ad to go to the Himalayas, just not knowing who was going to take the trip. And we took our little Kindness Count sign with us, and everywhere we went, people wanted us to unroll that and talk a little bit about it. And from the highest villages to down in Delhi to the Taj Mahal, people were just excited to hold the sign and be part of it.
You may have to change the name of the organization from Kindness Counts NCW to Kindness Counts all over the world. It would be true.
I know.
It would be true. Let's have another photo. There's some of the natives there.
Oh, one of my favorites. These two ladies have been trekking probably about 4 to 5 miles already. They're carrying 40 to 50 pounds of wheat chaff there. You can notice they don't have good shoulder straps. Those are ropes right there. And we're coming down the trail. They still have another 3 or 4 miles to go up to the village. Now when they get there, Dan, they're going to take that out there and they're going to shock that, roll it out. They wash their clothes on stones. There's no electricity in the village, no running water except in a stream. The village has a little outdoor facility for a restroom and things like that. No indoor plumbing. But what I really like about this picture is they wanted their picture taken and they're dressed nicely. And they're working really hard, and this could have been a picture 300 years ago. But you know, Dan, what was really remarkable is every person I met there was very happy with their lot in life. Not one person said, I wish I had what you had. I wish I had more. I wish I had a bigger this or bigger that. Quite the opposite. They said, you know, we are happy with who we are and what we have.
Well, they're hauling 50 pounds of hay at 13,000 feet in elevation, and they're smiling. I know I wouldn't be.
I was tired coming down the trail. They were going up the trail.
Let's have another photo from Gene's excursion. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's maybe my favorite photo.
Oh, mine too as well. We went to the highest village, passed through the highest village around 13,000 feet in India, and stone homes, no glass on the windows, all shutters because in the winter they moved down to a lower village, but in the winter all those homes are completely covered with snow and the glass would break, of course. But they were so excited. They don't see Caucasians very much or people of other color, and so they wanted to dress nice, they wanted to look nice, they wanted to bring their children out and get a picture. It meant a lot to them that we recognize them, not just by a picture, but to say, you're important to us. And these people were thoughtful and kind and inviting and come on in, and we have nothing, but whatever we have, it's yours.
Do they live exclusively off the land? There's no economy or trade or anything like that? That's just where they live?
Yeah, Dan, that's a super question, and you are right on target with that. Any one of us with the boots we were wearing at $100 or so probably were worth more than they make in an annual income.
Wow.
I mean, they have little things of plots of land. They have some sheep and some goats out there and some cows for milk and stuff. But their economy is easily less than $100 a year for these people.
And yet it doesn't bother them at all.
They are happy, happy, happy.
I guess you can't miss what you have never had.
That's exactly right. And kindness is the norm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go out of their way to be kind. It was natural for them. And to invite us in and to smile, they all came to their doors and, you know, gosh, so good to see you, and broken English, of course. But anyway, it was just, it was heartwarming, Dan.
More photos from Gene's trip. Now, this one I thought was fascinating. That's not your camp, but that's near your camp.
That's correct. That's another there. But that is exactly the views we had every morning, Dan. We wake up, you do the zipper on your tent, and you look out there and you go, oh my gosh, yesterday's views was spectacular. Today's even better, you know. And so we broke camp. We were camping for 9 consecutive days on rocks, Dan, I have to tell you. Our little sleeping pads were not as comfortable as we thought they might be. And so when I got home and had a tough time getting back to sleep, I went outside and got rocks and put them under my mattress.
What did you eat for 9 days?
Yeah, thank you. A lot of rice, of course, okay. A lot of breads, a lot of grains. And vegetables too. So the meals were really good and quite adequate for what we were doing. The issue around these kinds of climbs, beyond the altitude and the trekking, is the issue around water and making sure you boil all your water and making sure you purify it, filter it after that, because the last thing you want is to have some issue around your stomach and you're trying to get up and down those mountains.
A lot of parasites, I suppose.
Oh boy, yeah, you want to be real careful. In fact, one of our Sherpas, who was from the area, was drinking out of a stream, and we all thought, I don't know, there are goats and sheep and cows up here. Right. And within a day or two, he was down. He had to go back down the mountain. He couldn't do it.
Sorry to hear about that. Next question. Now that's a great photo.
Yeah,
there you are with the banner again.
Yeah, there we are, and everybody wanted to join in, and there's Sherpas and porters there, and people are just having a wonderful time. And we rolled out the banner, and they all said, "We want to be part of this picture too." So they all rolled in here too. And, I mean, we've got people from Nepal, people from India there, people from California there. They're all over the U.S. as well as that area. Everybody wanted to know about kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people, the Sherpas and the guides that you had with it, they're getting their picture taken. They're never going to see this picture. I suppose they don't have email up there or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know?
well, Dan, super question. We did send to some of them, did have access to that. Several of those Sherpas have been on, one of them had been on Mount Everest 8 times. Wow. And on his hat, he had a little thing called 8K, and we were asking him about that. He said 8 times on Mount Everest. Strong, Dan? My God.
Was it easy? My guess that you talked about you had to sleep on rocks, but you're physically exerting yourself all day. So my guess is you were bone tired each night and had no problem falling asleep.
No problem. Yeah. We got dark around 8:30, 9 o'clock over there, given where it's located, and boy, we were all lights out, and it was. We slept well, got up well. Frost most every morning. We had hail, we had snow, most weather conditions. But in general, the background you see is we had good weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many more photos. Okay, yeah, this is amazing. They actually have a Dogwise pet shop in the Himalayas.
Also at 403 South Mission.
we wanted to give them a little love because as you drive all over the Wenatchee Valley, you're going to see that little banner out there. It seems to pop up at different locations.
We can't get them out fast enough. I get more requests for banners than I can fulfill, so I'm trying to get more of those out and about. But we get lots of that, and both East Wenatchee, our Eastmont School District and the Wenatchee School District have been so generous and say, our fences are your fences. Mm-hmm. You know, you just put them right up there, and we're all supportive of that. Intiat, Chelan, I could go on and on.
And Kashmir, I think we have there you go.
Oh, Kashmir. Oh, look at this. Kids. What a great picture and what a great thing. And you probably heard that 1,370 happy letters were produced in 2022-23. And those letters went to the oncology department, to senior centers, to people who are often without support or help. And regularly we get people who say, this letter changed, this little happy letter changed my life. It's on my wall here in my assisted living center.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, and these kids in Kashmir, Vale Elementary, my gosh, applaud, a great job. Yeah.
And it wasn't like Mrs. Smith made me do this. You know, they want to do it. You know, it's not like a homework assignment.
Oh, kids love it. Grades 1 through 4. We're producing these 1,370 letters. But Dan, you think about that: 1,370 letters, happy letters that go out. And if you go to Weed's Coffee Shop in Kashmir, they got a little booth right there. It says, "Do a happy letter," and people are dropping them in there. And we got a little booth down at Pybus, and we have later on. We'll talk about a bench idea that we've got too.
Well, go ahead and do that now because I want to close out with that.
Okay.
But let's just talk about the music in the garden, and then we'll talk about the the bench. Talk about the big party at Pybus. I'm sorry, at Omi Gardens on Sunday, July 9th. This is to benefit the Omi Gardens area.
Absolutely.
They have to make their ends meet. They don't get a lot of money
from
the Chelan County Commissioners, and so they're trying to raise money to keep Omi Gardens the jewel that it is. Talk about that.
You bet. Well, Omi Gardens is a gem.
Yeah, it is.
It's an absolute gem, and I run into people daily who say they've never been there, and oh my gosh, you guys, take a few minutes to drive up there and see what a beautiful facility is, so well maintained, an absolute gem of our valley, and I've been up there for a variety of events, have enjoyed it every single time. I'll be there. Kindness Council will be there to support this effort, Music in the Garden, on July the 9th, and I would encourage others to be there as well. Great place.
Those folks can sing too.
Oh my gosh.
And they do it because it's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. They do it because it's fun. A funny story, we were up at Omi Gardens last year interviewing Bonnie Orr, as a matter of fact. And we were doing the interview, we were breaking down the gear. And a couple comes in, husband, wife, and about a couple of kids, I think maybe 7 years old and maybe 5 years old. Omi Gardens, they're checking it out. And I thought, out of town, or something like that. It was summertime. So I got to talk to him, and I said, "So, where are you from?" They go, "Wenatchee." I said, "So," and he goes, "We've lived here for 25 years, never been to Omi Gardens."
Oh my word!
We figured it was about time. It's amazing how many people. I'm taking that with a certain grain of salt, but there's a lot of people who live in the north central Washington area, in the Wenatchee Valley, who've never been to Omi Gardens.
Exactly.
And I go, Hello.
I know it. I know it. It's such a great place to take visitors who come to town as well. You know, Pybus, of course, the Loop, of course, so many other areas, of course, but Omi Gardens has got to be a must.
Yeah, and it's right there.
It's right there, 5 minutes from downtown.
Absolutely. Speaking of downtown, Pybus Public Market, where communities meet, they've Travis Hornby and his crew have been helping you guys out. Talk about that.
Oh, they've been fantastic. We could not be more grateful for Pybus and the work they're doing down there. And we've got a little booth down there where people fill out a little kindness counts thing and submit it in there in the box, and we pick them up and put it on our website. And our website, of course, our Facebook page is just Kindness Counts NCW. We'd encourage the listeners to go there, and it's just full of beautiful examples of kindness, and we keep populating it all the time, so that's been great. Just got one the other day that was really quite emotional. I was reading it again this morning, picked it up yesterday. It's great. So Pybus has been terrific. One of the things we're thinking about, and this is an idea that Charlene Woodard came up with, which we think is great, is putting some benches around town called Kindness Counts, where the purpose of the bench is to sit down and have a conversation with somebody you don't know. Just say, hey, Dan, how you doing?
See, that's never been a problem with me. I'm not exactly shy. I can strike up a conversation with almost anybody. But once you get past that initial deal, you're fine. It kind of has a momentum of its own.
Yeah, trying to connect people around kindness, and in this idea around, Dan, tell me your story. Tell me what you're excited about. It's not about politics or anything else. It's just about getting to know one another.
By the way, folks, if for you people watching this program, you want to go, how do I get involved? It's like anything else. Show up.
Yeah.
Show up. That's all there is to it. And the meetings are still being held at the conference room at the Community Foundation, North Central Washington. You're meeting once a month now during the summertime.
We are, because so many vacation schedules.
Right.
And then our next meeting, we had a meeting yesterday, big turnout. It's a you all come. We're not a 501c. We don't collect any money. There's no bylaws. It's just anybody come on down. And that's July 20th. There's the next meeting, 2 to 3.
Okay. The best decision that they made is, let's not write bylaws, let's not have a constitution, let's not elect a president, a vice president, and a treasurer.
No committee meetings.
No committee meetings, yeah, that kind of deal. Dr. Gene Sherritt from the Kindness Counts NCW. Anything else on you while I got you here? Because I know you're a busy guy. Anything else that we need to know about?
Can't thank you enough. You've been a major player.
Anytime.
You always are.
Anytime. You have an open invitation, Gene.
Thank you very much.
Anytime you want to.
All
and
right.
welcome back to the US of A.
I'm glad to be back.
Yep. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
VreeMotion e-bikes is rolling out its new line of Aventon e-bikes. Come in today and save $300 on the top-selling Aventon Adventure. VreeMotion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building in downtown Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience Cycle Chelan, held June 24th, 2023. Pick your thrill from 4 rides: the Metric Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, the Lake Loop, or the Butte Blast. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships and other charitable activities of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan 2023, a route for every rider. Pick your thrill today.
little bit warmer, 52 degrees. Our normal overnight low is 55. It was a rather cool Father's Day. We only got to 68. Our normal high is 79 degrees. We're going to be under the influence of a rather deep and cold low-level system that's sitting pretty much right over the top of us, spinning around counterclockwise. It's going to be hanging around for the next 3.5 days or so. This little slide from the National Weather Service highlights some of the areas in our broadcast footprint, I guess is the best way to put it, that we don't really get a chance to talk about every so often, such as Chelan, as you see there up in Colville, Moses Lake. Look how cool it was overnight in Republic, and there was some light snow at about the 5,000 foot mark in some of the Cascades, which is a very rare event considering the first day of summer is just 2 days away. But we're going to finally warm up a little bit, gradually warm up a little bit from the National Weather Service. It looks something like this for this Juneteenth Monday. We'll see mostly sunny skies. That's not going to be a problem. It is going to be breezy at times. The wind will be increasing in intensity throughout the course of the afternoon. Just about what we hit yesterday, right around 68 or 69 for the afternoon high. Chilly again tonight, 51 for the overnight low. Best chance of measurable rain is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be fairly cloudy. It's going to be cooler still, but we could see a little rain, some much needed rain on Tuesday. Overnight low Tuesday night, 54. Then we start warming up. Partly cloudy and breezy on Wednesday as that deep upper low exits the area. By Thursday, it'll be gone, and by Friday, we're right back to June type weather. And that's it for us. Have a great holiday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good. Because after all, that's what we all want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Today on the show, we're visiting with local entrepreneur and real estate professional, Kristen Thompson. And by now, you know I have a lot of respect and admiration for entrepreneurs. They are